Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 18 of my early campaign where I'm playing as Aragon. And was it the last episode? No, 2 episodes ago I did send my crusade off to take Antioch and I was successful in taking it. And then in the last episode I was also successful in holding it. So I'm probably, yes, I'm a couple turns away from having this port that is finished here. And however, with that being said, I was alerted by one of my viewers, Elf. If you're watching, I appreciate the help, man. You've been a real pleasure to talk to, and it's been really nice to have someone kind of help me out with some of the finer details of this game. And so he alerted me and let me know that I don't need my port to be complete to send reinforcements to Antioch. As I pull this unit from Castile, I can just send them right over. And you know, it's weird because a part of me understood that, because obviously I got here with my crusade without there being a port, I think. You know, you can invade anywhere, you can invade any region as long as you have sea dominance. So you can go there. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking that there was this cutoff for some reason. But no, that's not the case at all. It's that these armies can't go back without me building that port up. But as long as I have ships here connecting my regions, yes, I can send units into this province. So that's the case here. So I can actually send these units that I was sending anyway over to Antioch. I have just the 4 of them in Castile, and I think that's all I really want to send right now. Sure, I do have a few units in Aragon and Navarre that I could take a peek at, but here's the kind of the awkward thing as far as timing goes, is that I was sort of in the middle of bringing these units in to replace the mercenaries that have been hanging out on my borders for a very long time, and I was pretty excited to kind of move on from them. So I kind of disbanded all of them and I brought these units up and, to fill their ranks. And now I'm in a position where I kind of want them here, because sure, France is at war with Germany and Italy, and you would think that's good, like enough to keep them off me, but I don't know, man. They're looking pretty powerful. England doesn't exist anymore. They've conquered most of the British Isles, and we are in a place where if they ever got that idea that they could use a third enemy, I don't want to give them that idea that I'd be the one for that. So I'm going to keep these forces here in Aragon, merge them up, and roll with 3 stacks here. That seems good for now, and I will have to put off my disbanding of these mercenaries here in Navarre for a little while longer, just because I'm not going to be sending... I still need to get this situated. Once I have enough forces here to where this feels better, and I have some defensive structures and maybe even like a fort or so, that's going to feel, I'm going to feel more comfortable about that. Also, when I'm making more money off of Antioch, that's also going to feel pretty good, because right now my treasury is only at 1,300 per year, which doesn't feel great. It's not that prohibitive right now. My treasury is also pretty decent, making 14, or I have 14,000 right now, so I have a little cushion, a little bit of leeway here. For the time being, though, I think that I need to not be really building any new buildings. Luckily, I already am working on buildings in pretty much all of my provinces, so I don't have to, worry about not being able to build new ones, except for here in Portugal, I think, is the only one that's not building a building, yeah. So I can just spend all of my money now on soldiers and agents, which is what I'm going to be doing. I probably can take a little break on the boats for a while. Am I building boats anywhere? So yes, Portugal, and yes, in Cordoba, but I can probably take a break on that because I do think that I have all of my bases covered. I mean, obviously it's nice to have some backup boats just in case that any of them get sunk in a storm, or if anyone attacks me, it's nice to have something that I can send right over and plug that gap instead of waiting 3 turns to build a new boat to get my trade routes in order. But I think that I can take a break after these boats are finished. So you and you, there we go. And that's going to feel a little bit better here. So in the meantime, I am going to keep training up my bishops so that I can keep, getting vision in Central and Western Europe here, which is going to feel pretty good. And obviously I will keep working on the situation in Antioch. It feels kind of like a waste that I, went port now, knowing now that I can get these soldiers over here to reinforce. hey, but at least I will be getting money out of Antioch, so it's not a complete waste. It's just that I should have prioritized the fort before the port. And now that I know what I know, that's what I would do in the future. Now, if Egypt would attack me, now I am going to try to, again, get a ceasefire here with the Egyptian. What are they? Is it Egyptian? It's a Sultan, yeah. So if I can get a ceasefire with the Sultan, that would be good. I kind of am inclined to think that he's not going to go for it, because they are just kind of kicking butt against the Byzantines right now. They're taking Trebizond, which is pretty dope, honestly. Go Egypt. That's pretty crazy. So that's going to be leaving with the Byzantines. There's some decent forces in Constantinople. But that's kind of it, right? Yeah, that's like the majority of the Byzantine forces is in Constantinople. Man, if they lose that to Egypt, that's going to be crazy. So for the time being, Egypt is a little bit distracted. I would kind of like them to kind of bugger off. And I think that maybe with if I keep bringing in forces here to Antioch, eventually they might agree to do that. But for the time being, I'm just going to have to keep, plugging away and hoping that they don't attack me. I don't think they will. They do have this healthy force here in Syria. It's 2 units of peasants, though. Makes up a lot of their numbers here. The rest of it's just kind of archers, Moahid for soldiers. He's a 3-star general himself. In fact, what is he? Ooh, he's an unhinged loon. So -3 morale and -30 happiness. Ooh, he's not good. But he also is famously brave. So that's +1 morale. Okay. Still, that's -2 morale in a battle. Yeah, any force led by him would not be good. And the force in Tripoli is mostly camels. I don't have eyes on this force here in Edessa. And in Lesser Armenia, this force is pretty damaged. I fought them before. And then also pretty damaged. There's 3 healthy units of camels, including this 5-star general, with just a shit ton of acumen. Holy God. And what is he? Fine leader. My goodness gracious. +4 morale. Wow, he is just he's a genius. Yeah, he's good. Amir El-Labi. Yeah, he must be an historical general as well. Yeah, he's a good one. Hopefully I don't have to fight him. Or, hopefully I do and I get to kill him. He's in the camel unit, so that can be kind of hard for my horses to trap him, because they can probably get beat by his camel unit, to be honest. Now, I thought there was something that I was doing. Yeah, so she's going to marry one of my generals hanging out here in Navarre. And then I have another princess that just came of age, I believe. And I noticed that I have another general down here who's unmarried. Lord Velasquez, the keeper of the Privy Seal. And you know what? You've earned a wife. So, let's see. Princess Dolce. Okay, yeah. How about you come down here and, I'm not that I'm too worried about this man's morale, but, not his morale, but his loyalty, but still. Why not get him a princess? And other than that, yeah, I don't think, there's much else going on. I think it's just hanging tight here to see if this is going to work out. See if I can get a ceasefire. And then just keep sending soldiers over from the homeland. And check out Egypt, just making power moves over here. Now they're taking on Khazar. Or no, this is Georgia. And yeah, man, they're just cleaning up the east. Now there is a Byzantine rebellion here in Trebizond, so the Egyptians may have moved on a little bit too quickly here. And a bark was sunk. Okay, that's a little too bad, but I'm pretty sure... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I thought I had 2 there, so I think I'm still good. I got a little lucky, I guess, in a way. A royal court was completed. I believe that's going to allow me to train up some royal knights now. And the English... Oh, yes, I love these when they happen. And I don't like it when they happen to me in my territory, but they're so cool. The English reappear, so this is a faction reemergence. An heir of the last ruling lineage who escaped detection has organized a rebellion in an attempt to reestablish his faction. A number of other rebellions in progress have declared allegiance to his faction. Number of provinces being attacked is 1. So, and this is something that I think I've touched on a little bit in previous episodes, maybe in this campaign or maybe in the other one, but the idea with faction reemergences is that when you take over another faction's territories and then that faction dies off, typically there's going to be heirs that have not come of age yet, and they might come of age at some point. And that's what this first sentence here is alluding to, is an heir of the last ruling lineage who escaped detection, has organized a rebellion. He was like a kid when you killed his family, and now he's coming back for you. And this is only going to happen in provinces that were previously owned by them, so it doesn't have to be their home provinces. So, for example, I own Antioch right now, and then, okay, this wouldn't. I can't get a faction reemergence because once I'm gone, the game's over. But presumably, you know, if Aragon owns Antioch, and then Aragon loses Antioch, and then dies, and then at some point later, there could be a faction reemergence of Aragon in Antioch, right? That's how this works. It doesn't have to be in your home territories. It just has to be a territory that you own. And the measure of it is that you have to keep the population loyalty above 120% to stop these things, to guarantee that they don't happen. 100% isn't enough. You need to be above 120% in these territories. Now, that doesn't mean you have to keep that in all of your territories, just territories that used to belong to other factions, okay? I hope that made that clear. So they're really interesting. I think they're really fun ways to shake up the campaign because they can completely change everything. A faction that was gone doesn't mean it's gone forever. However, I think that the number is 60 turns. I for some reason I can't remember what it was, but they said that I remember reading about this where they would say once it's been 60 turns, then there's no way like that he can't, like, he's done for. Like that heir is going to die of old age or something. So if it doesn't happen in that 60 turns, then you're safe. Then you're fine eventually. Like it's not something that you have to worry about for the entire campaign. It's just until the lifespan of the heir, right? So it's just a really interesting thing. And yeah, in this case, it's really going to shake things up in the British Isles, in Wales, because, you know, here we are. England is given, and the thing is, they're usually big. This is, I think, kind of on the smaller side as far as faction reemergences go. Just basically 2 stacks being a little bit, so a little bit small, I'd say. I feel like I've seen some pretty big ones, and they can do a lot of damage for sure. They can really disrupt things. So one of my nobles was wed to one of my daughters, and both of them were. Okay, good for both of them. And the Egyptians do not want that ceasefire. That's to be expected. I do have a son on the way. Huzzah. And Prince Felipe is a believer, +1 piety. Good for him. Good for him. Let's see if I can check out... Can I spy on these armies? Yes, I can. So are these armies strong enough to make some noise? I'd say yes, they are. I mean, they have a lot of field men-at-arms in this army, along with a handful of mounted sergeants, which is a really good light cav unit with a really high charge bonus. You know, then basic archers. What are these? Celtic warriors. Okay, cool. I've never used them before. I've never seen them, actually. Interesting. Hoblar is a decent light cav unit. Not as good as the mounted sergeants, I believe. And, but like cheaper or something. Then, yeah, a couple of units of Royal Knights, including this 6-star general right here, Sir Strongbow. Love it. Sir Strongbow Fitzgilbert. God damn it, I love that name. And yeah, a lot more Hoblars and mounted sergeants. Another 3-star general right here. The king himself is only 0 stars, so that's a little bit unfortunate. 2 influence. Man, let's go back to Strongbow. Let's check this guy out. Man, bunch of acumen, 6 command stars. Moral flexibility, so he's negative 30% to bribe him, so that's funny. You would think that he's back in a faction reemergence. You'd think he'd be like, ride or die, but not him. Sir Strongbow's like, look, I'm only in it until I can get out of here. And yeah, and this army doesn't have much in here, but I mean, a lot of, feudal men-at-arms is a good unit. So this could make some noise. Let's check out the French in this area. Oh, I guess I can't. I can't spy on. Yep. The French have a few boats in the region, so I can't spy on literally anything that they have here. Oh, sad noises. I really wanted to see. Okay, go Egypt. Go Egypt. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. If France has to fight a 3-way war against Germany, Italy, and England, That'd be so, so cool. By the way, France, we are still friends. So, despite me rooting against you, we are still friends. Remember that, okay? So let's just not, let's not forget what's important here. And Egypt is just on a tear. My goodness, God help anyone else that stands in their way. My goodness gracious. They have just gone right on and invaded Khazar. And I'm the richest. Wow. Okay. I don't feel that rich. Ooh, speaking of which, that hurts. Oh God. So I lost my boat in the Straits of Gibraltar. Oh dear. I was told once that Americans sound like we talk with a potato in our mouths, and sometimes when I try to say some of these words, I really feel that. So the port just finished here in Antioch. And yeah, two of my allies are now engaged in hostilities. Poland versus France. You know what? Yeah, I'm your ride or die, France, so... Wish to remain allied with the Polish. No, I do not. Prince Ferdinand is utterly fearless. This man wouldn't even know how to spell fear, let alone feel any when confronting his enemies. +2 valor and +2 morale. My goodness, he is just a legend. Prince Ferdinand. Oh, my goodness. Dude. And this is why he can't spell fear. He doesn't really, can't really count or spell or anything, but put him in a fight. He has 9 valor. My God. 9 valor and 5 commands. Woo. Yeah, put him in a fight. Yeah, this is the guy. Oh yeah, there's only one left in his unit, right? Jesus, he almost died, and then he didn't. And now he's still kicking. Do I have any other royal knights in this army, or is it just him? I do have, yeah, and then there's 8 men left in this unit of 2. Yeah. So as soon as I can, I'm gonna have to send these guys back and get their units retrained, because I don't want to lose this. Prince Ferdinand is someone who can be leading armies for quite a while for me. Oh, and I suppose I should probably hire some more mercenaries here in Antioch. I kind of forgot about that, but yeah. Spearmen with an armor upgrade. Yes, please. Militia sergeants. Yes, please. Damaged woodsmen. I don't think so, but I'll take some Spanish javelin men. And the Druzina cavalry. And that's... well, that'll do. Hiring costs of 389. Yeah. Let's take it. Let's take it, because the Egyptians look like they're kind of gathering their forces here. I feel like I'm kind of being surrounded by camels and horses, so... Another 4-star general. I feel like Egypt has some pretty boss generals here. Yeah, so this is this another fine leader? Is he the... yeah, he must be. He must be the first one. Yeah, right? Okay, is he... I don't know if I've looked at the 5-star general before. Okay. Yeah, I need to actually... let's look at this. I should have done this before. Let's bring my emissary over to Edessa and check things out. Get eyes on, see what they have. Because here, I mean, it's nothing too crazy, honestly. You know, camels, say Heron Cav, 1 unit, 1 heap of soldiers, some archers, some grenade throwers. And then, yeah, here, again, nothing too crazy, so... But yeah, this is just wild. So, I guess there was that little rebellion, that loyalist rebellion here in Trebizond, and Egypt just took care of things. They just came right back in and were like, nah. So they're back in this keep, and they're going to be starved out in 2 turns. And then this is going to last, this is going to end this turn. So Egypt's going to have control of Georgia at the end of this turn. And then how about this keep up here? 2 turns for this to starve out. And then they'll have Khazar completely. And what does that leave the Byzantines with? Constantinople mostly, right? And then Bulgaria, Greece, Crimea. Oh, they are pushing up here. So they have Serbia, and then they have Croatia as well. Does that mean, are the Hungarians gone? I think they are. Yeah, I'm not seeing the Hungarians. Okay. So it's just the Poles and the Byzantines up in this area, but they are not at war with each other right now. And, you know, thank goodness for the Byzantines. Are the Poles, what are the Poles doing? Are they at war with anyone? They're at war with France, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Right. How? How are the Poles at... Germany still exists, right? See, this is why I want spies here, like bad. I need to see what's happening. There must have been a naval engagement, right? Unless a crusade was sent, but I don't think the Poles are excommunicated. Right? No, they're not. Oh, that's England. Yeah, the Poles, they're still in good standings with the Pope, so there cannot be a crusade being sent their way. And I'm not seeing a Polish navy at all. So yeah, I wonder if a French boat just kind of sunk a Polish ship. Oh dear. And this is what happens when I don't have a boat in the Straits of Gibraltar. It was really bad. Okay, so I should probably have a backup boat there as well. I just brought one over. Obviously, that's not going to count yet. It's not going to count until next turn. So I'm going to be losing 2,500 florins just for not having a boat there in the Straits of Gibraltar. So, yikes. Yeah, I should probably have 2 boats doubling up there. I've been kind of keeping my 2 boats on the coast of Egypt, just in case they put some boats in the water. I can kind of sink them right away. And am I still building a boat here? Or did I completely shut that off? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Okay, let's take this one. One of these boats, bring it down here. Because this is important. If I can't get trade through here, like this is, you know, as you can see, it really cuts my income, and not just in half, but like, you know, it's really bad. So let's make sure I keep an eye on that and make sure that yeah, I'm wondering if I should take a break on the training up of soldiers. I don't think so. It's going to be 4 turns before this fort is built, and then another 2 turns before that trading post is built. So 6 turns before I'm making an income off of the trade resources in Antioch, and that feels like a long time. It really does, but I suppose I can hang in there. And now moving on to another turn here, my income should be fixed now. So let's take a peek at things, and 210. Okay. Yikes. Everything is fine, right? With my trade? Everything looks green here, and everything looks green here. Okay. So, okay. Interesting. So my upkeep, yeah, those mercenaries that I bought must have really costed a lot of upkeep, because that's just my upkeep, right? That's what's tanking this is my upkeep for my soldiers and my boats, of course. So, yeah, that's a little nerve-wracking. I suppose I should really just kind of stop training soldiers right now. Do I need anything more in Antioch? I don't think so. I don't, like, the Egyptians don't look... What do they have here in Edessa? Yeah, a lot of these units are units that look like they were beaten up from the battle versus me. Because, like, there's this Ghulam Cav with only one man left in it. It's a pretty beaten up army. And I don't see them... Yeah, honestly, it might be worth, like, going... I mean, I don't know if they would take a ceasefire. Wait, what? Oh, no, that was France. No, I want a ceasefire with Egypt, please. Yeah, I don't think they would take a ceasefire just because they're kicking ass right now. So they might be like, nah, like we're good. Well, they might just think like, we'll get you eventually. So, and they really might. But I should probably take my foot off the gas when it comes to troop production, or I do keep training soldiers, but then I use them to replace these mercenary units in Navarre. And I kind of like that idea better, because the fort in Antioch is going to be finished in 3 turns, and then another 2 turns before that trading post is finished. That helps. It does help. after disbanding a few units here in Navarre, my mercenary units that is, my income is back up to 522, so that is improvement. However, you know, I felt so smart doing that, and I'm looking like and seeing 3 stacks here in Aquitaine, which is more than 2. And I believe that they did have 2 previously, so... But there's no way they can be attacking me. There's no freaking way, right? They're still at war with 3 people right now, I believe. Yeah, they're still at war with the Germans, the Italians, and the Poles. And that's not including, you know, if England ever makes some moves. I still have no vision here. I want to see what they have. It would be nice. It would be nice if England made some moves here against either Wessex or Mercia, just to provide an extra little foil to the French's plans, because I don't like them having this many armies on my border, but it could just be, you know, as a precaution against me. So if that's the case, I totally get it. You know, I could start training Inquisitors now. I kind of forgot about these guys. Yeah, I did build that. What was the building? I can't remember. Is it the... Yeah, the monastery. This is the one, right? Yes, it is. So I could train these Inquisitors if I would like. It is an Inquisitor's calling to root out heresy and dissent in the Catholic flock. His presence in a province reduces heresy and can cow the whole population thanks to his harsh reputation. See, it's so vague, and that's one thing I don't like about this game, is the really kind of vague description of what they do. You know, it's like, okay, well, like, how do I use it? So my understanding, right, is that they do raise zeal in provinces. Now, this makes it seem like it does go after the actual heresy, like the heretics in these provinces. Like, as an example here. Yeah, like here in province, there's 8% of them are following heretical cults. So is a Inquisitor actually going to reduce this? I don't know the answer to that. They should, like, right? That's kind of the whole point of them, is to go after heretics. But that's not something that I've ever seen mentioned or talked about. So I don't know. All I know is that they raise zeal up to a point, and then the zeal lowers, right? Like they raise it up to a percentage, I believe. Like, is it 60%? I can't remember. I feel like I just saw that somewhere. That zeal's raised to 60%, and then it drops because they've already burned everyone. And other than that, though, I know that they also can obviously be used to kill unpious generals. So is there any targets here that I want to go after? Like in France, I mean, this guy's... Okay, so France is excommunicated. You can tell because of their broken cross here. But even though he's excommunicated, I believe that he's still pious with the 5 piety, so that's not going to work. What about this 4-star general here? 3 piety. He might be a better target. He's also the Duke of Lorraine, so he's giving all of his acumen, just his boatload of acumen, is going towards this province, and he's attributing to that 890 income. So by killing him, perhaps with an Inquisitor, because of his low piety, that might be a good move. This is exactly the kind of good news that I like to see here. The Italians have beaten back the French here in Burgundy, and that's why I like to have all those agents in Central and Western Europe, because it's really nice to see, like, watch the war, you know, see who's winning, see the back and forth. These bandits in Lithuania are causing some issues for the Polish, but it's not my problem. And the French somehow have achieved an unheard of level of development. Good for them. The King of Poland has died from an illness, but his heir remains. And the Pope asks for support, and he wants me to crusade against the French. No. Let's see. The Egyptians still don't want a ceasefire. That makes sense. That's their right. Prince Felipe is eloquent. He has a gift for being able to talk himself out of any difficulty, making it hard to fault his religious views, and making him a persuasive administrator, +1 piety and +1 acumen. What about this? And he's also devout. Yeah, he is just a smart, religious man. As more of this map becomes revealed, the picture becomes a bit clearer and clearer, and My oh my, the Germans, they look like they're just about done for, doesn't it? I mean, I don't have anyone in Bohemia or Silesia or Brandenburg yet, but all I see right now are the Germans in Pomerania. And there's this, like, how did this happen? Then there's some Germans here in Tyrolia as well. Oh dear, they're in a bad spot. I mean, the Italians taking Burgundy off the French helps, but I don't know. I don't think this is gonna really... Okay, this is a force of 3.5 units of Royal Knights, so there is that. But I feel like they're just gonna get dogpiled by all of these armies. Well, I mean, okay, honestly, these armies in Anjou and Ile-de-France isn't really strong. Toulouse is kind of held here because of the Italian army in Provence. Okay, honestly, maybe this Italian army can just beat anything that's around it. What about this army here in Switzerland? It's a lot of Hoblars. Yeah. And they're kind of stuck here because of the German army, which, you know, is kind of stuck on its own, but yeah, fascinating. Wow, yeah. And so I guess the war between the French and the Polish is actually a land war. It actually is. It's not a navy thing. It's just right here somewhere, and the French are just fighting the world, and they're kicking ass. I mean, the English still haven't really done anything because they appear a little hemmed in as well. Even though they've built up to a third stack, like almost a third full stack, and still, these the French armies around them apparently are too strong for England to make a move against, which is a little unfortunate. I would like to see England kind of do something here because, oh yeah, because Scotland is so rebellious, the French feel like they need 2 stacks here. That's kind of funny. Oh dear. Now this Egyptian army is looking a little bit more on the scary side. I'm seeing some Ghazi infantry, which, you know, we saw the trouble that I had with dealing with 1 unit of those. Just imagine dealing with now 2 of them, along with some Muwahid foot soldiers and some Saracen infantry as well, which is a good spearman unit. And then 2 units of Gulen bodyguards, 1 being the king, but 1 being a Valor 6 family member. Not a good commander, but Valor 6 makes him a good fighter. Yeah. Yeah, he's the youngest son, it appears. They're training up a lot of naphtha throwers, which makes me a bit nervous. I mean, naphtha throwers aren't great. They can be countered, obviously, but they can be a bit tricky to deal with because if they get close to you, they can just throw grenades and destroy your entire position. So, yeah, the Egyptians are not like I am rooting for them, but like this war's not over. They're gonna come in and try to take Antioch. And unfortunately, like, I'm making a little bit of money, but I don't think that I can really justify either A, buying more mercenaries, or B, sending more troops from the homeland. Mercenaries are available, like a ton of them, like an entire army's worth. So if they did fight this and I lost a lot of men, I could, you know, potentially hire back a lot more guys. And this castle is coming along. 2 turns before this castle is finished, or this fort, should I say. And then, yeah, 2 turns before the trading post is finished. And I just think that it's prudent to keep a, you know, decent-sized army in my borders here, just because France is looking kind of bullyish, you know? Like, even against 3 factions are kicking ass, so who's to say they wouldn't turn on me? I don't know. I would hope not, but I'm their only friend, right? I've got my Inquisitor in action. Let's go see if I can inquise this general over here. So often it is the ordinary man that is swayed by the wiles of the heathen. For his own sake, let us test this man, and maybe God will grant him mercy should he be found guilty. May I continue? Chance of success, 63%. Yeah, that's what he gets for only having 3 piety. So let's go in there, and that would be a hit. You know, killing this 4-star general, Duke of Lorraine, million acumen. Yeah. Let's go inquire somebody. Here is some news from my Inquisitor in Aquitaine. The disease of the heretical thought is rife. I have an arduous task ahead of cleansing the error-prone, but with the hand of God guiding me, I shall prevail. Inquisitor Don Raimundo de Peñafort and the accused Lord de Richmond. So I guess that's just telling me that he's going to go do the job that I told him to do. Okay. And the Italians did have to retreat from Burgundy. That's too bad. Kind of saw that one coming. Yeah, the French did take some soldiers from Toulouse to deal with that. So the King of Aragon has died. Okay, well, at least I have an heir who's all ready to go here. So marriage proposal. The King of England wants to marry one of my princesses, Princess Mary. And I suppose that's okay. I kind of don't think that this is gonna I just feel like it's not gonna last long because he has to go to war with the French at some point, right? And this is actually the king of England himself that my princess would be marrying. So interesting. I believe if it's my princess that marries into their faction, and then if that faction's eliminated, then I have a claim to their land, right? That's how that works. And then if their princess marries into my faction, then they have a claim to my land, right? I believe that's the case. So in this case, if I have that right, or if I don't have that backwards, if I have this right and I accept this, and then if this faction of England dies, then I could have a claim to Wales, I suppose, which would be pretty awkward. I don't know if I want that. Heck, let's just go in there. Let's give her hand away. And Don Diego Granville, he devotes much of his time to good food and other pleasures of the flesh. He's a little overweight, -1 valor. Well, they can't all be great fighters. How's my new king? So he is married, and he has been for a while. He's 33. But hopefully he has some children on the way. So, right, and this is something that I guess I've wondered, and I haven't really kept enough track of. So is Prince Alfonso, is he like my new king's son, or is he my old king's son? Yeah, it'd be interesting to wonder about that. So Prince Felipe and Prince Enrique are my brothers, and then I have another prince on the way, and I don't know if it's mine or my dad's. But he is 5, so I guess I'll find out in 11 years. I'll find out, what's going on with that. Prince Enrique is Prince Enrique is only 2 years younger than my king, so I definitely need a son on the way. He's married, so he should have children. I think that's what being married gets you. I think it gets you children before you even come of age. Or not come of age, but before you even become king, right? I'm pretty sure that's like why I get my guys married right away. In any case, he's pretty average. I mean, 5 acumen, or 5 influence, 3 piety, 3 dread, 4 command, and 3 acumen. It's okay. Nothing crazy. Good natural leader, so good general, and but crack-brained. Oh, that's kind of funny. That completely cancels itself out. Natural leader, so +2 morale and +1 loyalty, but then crack-brained is -2 morale, -20 happiness. Just kind of funny how that goes. Okay. Well, as long as he has a son on the way, I'm fine with it. Oh, heck. So my income just shot up to 1,400. So, like, why did that happen? Oh, is it because people are building ports? Is that why? I wonder if that's what it is. My income's going up just because people are building ports. That'd be funny. Yeah, that'd be really cool. I don't know if that's the truth. I don't know if that's the case, but that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know why my income would just shoot up like that. Hey, finally we were able to sink an Egyptian boat without losing one in return, so that feels pretty good. I mean, I would like to let the Egyptians get some boats in the water, but, we have to be at peace first. So the English are pretty happy about being alive again. That's, pretty good for them. And yeah, King of Danes has died, but there's another heir for that, so that is all fine, yeah. And my assassin, oh my god, gosh darn it. I just had my assassin trying to kill an emissary that was spying on my armies in Antioch, and yeah, he chased the emissary into a neighboring province and he got caught and killed. The fort is finally complete here in Antioch. That feels pretty good. And then, ooh, the heretical sect. The Albigensian heretics are an offshoot of the Cathars and follow many of their erroneous teachings, but go further in their rejection of the church, its priests, and all that is sacred. These Cathars may hide behind a new name, but heresy must always be extirpated. Their strength grows in Toulouse, Provence, Aquitaine, and Genoa. Interesting, yeah. So they're going to be having a lot more heretics in these provinces: Toulouse, Provence, Aquitaine, and Genoa. Okay, cool. Prince Enrique is now a deep thinker. This man's ability to think clearly about any problem gives him insight denied to ordinary men, but perhaps at the cost of unquestioning faith. -3 piety and +3 acumen. Yeah, I think he has a lot of acumen by now, doesn't he? Where did he? Where is he? Enrique? Okay, only 5. 5 is good, but still, I thought it was going to be a little bit higher than that. Nice thing about having a fort in Antioch is that now I can actually train Turcopoles. And this is a really interesting unit because it's only available to Catholic factions in the Levant, you know, in these Muslim regions, these desert regions. Because what it is, it's basically like a crusade. Like historically, I guess it's like a crusade-based light cav unit that helps you kind of fight off against the locals, right? Like you kind of want horse archers to fight up against the enemy horse archers. So you can train these guys. It's really interesting. After fighting Saracen cavalry, the Crusaders realized that knights were not suited to war in the east. To counter the nimble Saracens, the Westerners recruited local mercenaries. These Turcopoles are lightly armored and carry both bows and spears, making them a flexible unit type in combat. Yeah, I don't know their exact stats. This makes them sound... Having spears makes them sound like they actually might have a decent attack, which I'm not... I would have to look that up. I'm not sure about that. I thought they're just kind of like basic horse archers, but maybe they're actually kind of decent. Still, I think I'll kind of have a couple of those because yeah, they're you know, it's nice having horse archers to fight up against horse archers for sure. That flexibility is really useful, and that's kind of one of the problems I was dealing with. Right, was that I brought an army that sold out completely on stopping the enemy heavy cavalry. And I was left with no horse archers myself, or no archers at all. I didn't bring any archers in that opening army, and it felt a little weird for sure, you know. So maybe this is going to give me a little bit more flexibility. I think if they still came in with another 4 Armenians, like they have a unit right here. Oh no, this is Gulam cavalry with an armor upgrade. Okay, so this is a unit of Armenian heavy cav. Yeah, they're building back up again. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. That's what they're saying. They're building back up, and they would like to expunge me from their lands. Well, I'm gonna try to get a peace fire, so don't mind if I try. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't taken Constantinople yet. I mean, you'd think this is the jewel, right? I mean, come on, this is the greatest province in the world. Take it. Take Constantinople. Leave Antioch alone. So Poland's looking kind of big. I mean, they're stretching out from all the way here in the west in Bohemia, all the way in the east here in Kiev, and then maybe even these territories as well. And up here to Prussia and Lithuania. Yeah, they have a decent chunk here, and I think they are only at war with the French. Is that correct? Yeah, fascinating. And so Poland is interesting because when it comes to their glorious achievements, they get a lot of points. They get 1 point for every province they score. So, like, conversely, for me, it's a lot different. I get 1 point for every 4 provinces that I conquer. So Poland really can shoot up there in points just by, you know, taking a bunch of provinces, and that's what they're doing right now. So they don't even own Silesia, which is another one of their homelands right now. They just own Poland, which is their only homeland objective. They're getting 5 points off of that, and oh, that's not. They're getting 4 points off of Poland, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they've conquered 6 territories. Yeah, they're not doing too bad. I mean, 43 points for them. It's more than me. Speaking of which, I wonder, was my crusade points already counted, or is that not going to be counted till the year 1205? It's not showing up anymore. I just can't remember. I feel like 23 is a little low. I thought it'd be a little higher than that. So I'll have to keep an eye on that, I suppose. What? My assassin failed to kill this rank 0 emissary? Oh dear, he had like an 83% chance. I always wonder this too, like what actually, like who killed my assassin? I was trying to kill an emissary in my own territory. What, did my own guards drag out my assassin and murder him? Oh god. Okay, well, looks like there's a back and forth in Burgundy between the Italians and the French. And the King of Sicily has died, but his heir's taken over. And then my bodyguards have killed an assassin that was working for the French here in Granada. Okay. The Egyptians still don't want a ceasefire. That's to be expected. And I do have a son on the way. Okay, so interesting. I'll take a look at that in a moment. So what do we got? The one that I was looking at, yeah, Prince Alfonso. So I'd be curious to see. Yeah, I really do. I'm starting to think that that might actually be my current king's son and not my dad's son. But I'll still keep an eye on that as we go along. I hope, I hope so. In any case. Even though this man has 5 piety and there's probably not much of a chance that I can get him with my Inquisitor, the fact that he is the King of Scotland, and Scotland is super rebellious, and this man with his 2 dread, I mean 2 dread's not a lot, but it's still helping keeping this in check. And I kind of want to mess with this and see if I can cause a rebellion in Scotland, because if I can cause a rebellion in Scotland, then maybe the English will be a little bit more, I don't know, active, perhaps? So let's see what my chances are of getting this guy. Oh, 44%. Okay, that's kind of more than I anticipated. Is it because, oh my god, my Inquisitor has 5 valor. What? Was he always like that? Holy crap. Man, Inquisitors are just beast. Or do they just get that because they're like constantly raising zeal all the time? Is that why? Like, are my bishops super jacked because they've been, not him. Yeah, because do these like agents with passive skills? Yeah, he's not jacked either. So interesting. Yeah, I was thinking maybe because they have passive skills, such as just kind of raising the percentage of Catholicism, that they might be getting that, but so I'm assuming he did kill that one general he was after before. And he just got 5 stars from that? Is that what happened? Jesus. I'll take it. And perhaps this is a good place to leave it off, because while I am very, very curious to see what my income is going to look like once this trading post is finished at the end of this turn, at the same time, I just have an inkling that Egypt could be attacking any moment. And I don't really want to be getting into a battle at this part of this episode, so I'm going to call it here just to be safe. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Conostep, and this has been Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.